Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Happy Monday, it's July 14th. Hope you had a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to take a look at Tilray brands. We'll bring up TLRY chart. We're going to take a look at a bullish pattern that's forming today. And that's, in my opinion, why we're bouncing. It's mostly technical at the moment, and it's just been super beaten down. A lot of people asking me what was up with the move today, early pre-market and into open. It has pulled back a little bit since then, but we're also going to be discussing reverse split in 2 months. So they have the deadline coming up in just over 2 months, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on that. They very well could be eligible for an extension. I think that's probably the most likely scenario, but I'll give you the details on that as well. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Full disclosure, I do own Tilray. It's my largest MJ portfolio holding, and this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. So this was from the Form 8K. You can see here on, let me get the date, March 25th, 2025. Tilray Brands Inc. received the notice from the NASDAQ regarding their listing requirements, so they did not continue to maintain that, and they remained deficient for 30 consecutive business days. Therefore, they got the notice. And you can see here, if they get above $1 per share, a minimum of 10 consecutive business days before September 21st, 2025, they'll regain compliance. So that's the date right there. But just like VFF actually was warned twice, once in 2023, once in 2024. And then they got an extension both times. So this was 180 days, and then they got another 180 days. So 180 days is 6 months. That's a whole year, folks. So you have a whole year from March 25th. It actually would be March 20th. So if you look at September 21st, you add 180 days, that brings us to March 20th, 2026. So that's a full year. And they recently mentioned that they're going to be pausing the implementation while they evaluate, timing and sector kind of momentum, etc. So we very well could see rescheduling into the fall. We could see safer banking before the midterms in 2026. So that's a lot of time to get some sort of reform done. And then we know that the federal budget in Canada is going to be released sometime in the fall as well. We could see an improvement to excise tax and going to one national stamp instead of 13 different ones for different provinces and territories. So that's going to be another thing to watch. But yeah, we're already seeing momentum across the globe as well. Germany, they're the first to enter Italy. So the writing's on the wall, folks. I don't think there's anything to be worried about. And to be honest, they might not even implement a reverse split by the way things are going. I would say it's probably a 50% chance. I was putting it somewhere around that 70-80%, maybe even higher than that at one point, that they were going to do the reverse split. But now that 41% of shareholders voted against it. They did it, stockholders did approve it, but shareholders, it was like 57% voted in favor for, and then 41% said, no, we don't want that. So I think the company was really listening to that. And like I said, 6 months from September 21st, 180 days, takes us to March 20th. So we'll maintain kind of status quo. We'll see how it goes over the next couple of months. As we get close to that September 21st date, though, there's no huge reason to panic because, like I said, they could get the extension. As you can see here, they even say it. In the event that the company does not regain compliance within the 180-day period, the company may be eligible to transfer from the NASDAQ Global Select Market to the NASDAQ Capital Market and seek additional compliance period of 180 days if it meets the continued listing requirement, etc. So again, that's a whole year, folks. We don't have anything to worry about, in my opinion. And there's a very solid chance that they get that extension and regain compliance organically without having to do a reverse split or, kind of basically, we'll see what happens. But again, 50-50 chance. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, right? But even if they were to do a reverse split, I don't think it's the end of the world. I was going to say something else and I forget now, but it was like the fact that Aurora, right? The same people that are commenting on my Tilray videos saying, Tilray's going bankrupt, it's doing a reverse split. Then they're like, the same people who say that, I notice their handles, they'll be like, Aurora's the leader now. And it's like, you do realize Aurora has done a 1 for 12 reverse split, and then right after that, they did a 1 for 10 reverse split, right? So these people don't even know, they don't look back far enough, right? And most people aren't invested in Aurora, they're in Tilray, and then they see Tilray's doing a reverse split, and they're like, oh, I'm going to Aurora, that one had good earnings, and they don't realize that, oh my God, if I just looked into this for more than 5 seconds, Aurora actually did 2 reverse splits, and now everybody's bullish on Aurora. So it's pretty silly when you think about it, and a lot of people don't realize that the U.S. companies are going to have to struggle with this eventually as well, right? They're just not listed on U.S. major exchanges like the NASDAQ. So I had a lot of people ask me, what's up with the Tilray move today? And when a stock moves 5%, 10% in MJ land, when a cannabis stock goes up 5 or 10%, people are wondering, they want to know why. And it doesn't always have to be a reason why. It can just be technical, right? Especially when we're down 98, 99% from all-time highs. And just from February 2021, if we zoom out here to that time period, if you look at February 2021, from that period to where we are now, we were down 99%. So again, doesn't take much for us to, see a big move. And really, since December of 2024, we were down another 76%. So as I said, once we start the monthly bounce, we're going to see a big monthly bounce. And sure enough, that's the case, because we hadn't bounced on the monthly in a full year, in a meaningful bounce. Bounce just means we're breaking the high of the previous candle. In this case, it's the monthly time frame. So every candle is 1 month, therefore it's the monthly bounce getting underway. I said as soon as we break 46 cents, that's the monthly bounce, because we break the high of last month. So that'd be a nice entry signal. And if you entered there on that buy signal, that would have been a 56% of upside. We also had a ton of POW Algo alerts go off. We've got almost 100 assets in there now and over 25 different custom indicators and alerts. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to do so. But we had multiple clues as well. We had a falling wedge on the weekly time frame. When that broke out, the target for that was 56 cents. We hit that target. We also had an inverse head and shoulders. So this is called confluence, when multiple signals, patterns, indicators are all singing the same tune and showing the same outcome. Well, we had the falling wedge. We had hidden RSI bullish divergence with higher lows and higher highs on the price action, on the RSI, and lower highs and lower lows on the price action. Then we had an inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish reversal pattern in a downtrend. Then we had multiple bull flags. Now we have a 4-hour bull flag that is forming here at the moment. And again, you don't need to always have a reason. And the reason why, in my opinion, we're bouncing today is because it's technical, and the target now is 104 if confirmed. So there's 2 things. There's called support and resistance. A stock, crypto, assets can do one of 3 things. They can go up, down, or sideways. So we just look at ranges for sideways and support and resistance for up and down. So in this instance, what I'll do is I'll just draw it out for you as well, so that everybody knows. You just go over here, grab your Fibonacci tools, grab the fib retracement, go from your low to the high there, and you can see that anything above the 0.32 fib is a potential bull flag. And a lot of people get confused by this. It doesn't need to be a different language. All it is, this like Fibonacci, like these levels, these numbers are found in music, math, charts, everything, right? It's like all over the world. So it's just a part of life. But essentially what it is it's just percentages. So it's very simple. From here to here, when you pull back to the 0.236, that just means you pulled back 23% of that move. You pull back to the 3.2, you pulled back about 38% of that move. If you pull back to the 0.5, you're about 50% of that move. That makes sense. If you go from here, from 1 to 0 and then back to 1, you gave back 100% of that move. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? You just went from there to here, all the way back down, you gave 100% of the move, right? If you came back to here in this range, you would have pulled back 51% or 61% or 78%. And that's the golden pocket typically in that area there at the 618. So as I said, as long as we hold the 0.32 fib, it's a potential bull flag. And then what do you know, right on that 0.32 fib, we started to bounce on the 4-hour time frame, breaking the high of the previous 4-hour candle. Now it's all about resistance here at 70 cents. If we break that 70-cent resistance level, then we take our measured move, which is the range there, and that gives us a target of 104 USD on the NASDAQ. And that, if we break resistance at 70 cents, that would be another 50% of upside from here. We also just had a bullish triple thunder crossover POW Algo alert go off, which is when the price closes above the 10-week moving average, and the stochastic and the MACD cross bullish simultaneously. When all 3 of those conditions happen simultaneously, you get a massive buy signal in the POW Algo alerts in both the POW Group private community and in email format as well. And you can see here we just absolutely erupted, and we have nothing nearby until the 50 weekly there at 106. So 200-day moving average at 96, so a lot of confluence saying that we're heading up to that $1, just above $1 area. I also added on the POW Group website, pursuitofwealthgroup.com or powgroup.ca, I added a new wiki for the algo alerts. A lot of people were asking for this and they wanted to know, and I also gave what exactly the alerts look like. So this is what they look like when they fire off in the POW Group private community in Slack, and this is what they look like on an email. And you can see here it gives the logic. But what I did was I created a wiki and a master list for all of the algo alerts. So you can see, you can just click here and then it'll bring it up. So 100 different stocks, crypto, commodities, and growing, over 25 custom indicators now. Here's the example of what it would look like. And here's the full wiki and master list for the POW Algo alerts. You can see here, it breaks down all of the alerts and then the logic behind them. So death cross, you get the bullish, bearish, triple thunder crossover. And as you can see, there's over 25 of them. And there's probably going to be many more buy alerts go off soon on Tilray. So going to end it there. Hopefully you found value in this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. Do you think they're going to do a reverse split? Like I said, I think it's somewhere around a 50-50 chance. The longer we go, I think the better the chances get. And we'll see, it's very possible that two months, it's over 2 months right now. So that's a long time for them to regain compliance. All they need to do is close above $1 for 10 consecutive trading days. But worst case scenario, they get an extra 6 months, and then you're looking at March 2026, and I think we're going to see a bunch of catalysts rescheduling more than likely, and then we're going to see safer banking at some point, I think in the fall or early 2026, and that lines up fairly well. All right, going in it there, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll catch you again on the next one.